Hi everyone, welcome back to Bree's Practical English. My name is Bree and I'm going to be teaching you 10 tricky adjectives that a lot of people misuse in English. This lesson comes with a free PDF and a free quiz. All you have to do is go over to my website and you can sign up and you will find in my courses section there is a free course that you can enter, and once you enter you'll be able to see this video again and you'll have the PDF right there to download. Okay, let's get into the lesson. So today we're looking at tricky English adjectives. So these are adjectives that even native speakers sometimes get confused. So don't worry if you make some mistakes, and don't worry if you don't know all of these words. That's okay, that's what we're going to learn today. So let's jump into the first pair that are often confused. We have a very simple one, few versus little. How many times have you confused these two words? It happens sometimes for people who are learning English as a second language or a third language. So few refers to a small number of countable items. Little refers to a small number of uncountable items. So that's where the difference lies. Countable versus uncountable. Not that hard, right? Here are some examples. I have a few grapes. We have little time to decide. Okay, so when you're talking about something countable, in this case grapes, you can count them 1 grape, 2 grapes, 3 grapes. We can say we have a few grapes. However, if you say I have little grapes, it sounds like you're talking about the size. The size is little, and that's not what you mean, right? If we use little, we use something that is uncountable. In this case, we have time. Time is endless. Time is uncountable. So we have little time to decide. Let's check the next pair. Here we have two very similar looking words. Allusion versus illusion. Listen to that pronunciation difference. Allusion, illusion. Can you hear the difference? So lots of people confuse these two words, even native speakers. So don't worry if you get these confused. Allusion, with an A, allusion, is a reference to something. Illusion, with an I, refers to something that is not real. Here are some examples. The film is full of allusions to Hitchcock. Hitchcock was a very famous filmmaker. So if a film is full of allusions to Hitchcock, maybe that means the film has many references to Hitchcock. Okay? They used paint to create the illusion of metal. So metal is not actually there. They didn't use metal, but the paint makes it look like metal. That is an illusion. It's not real. Okay, you got it? Let's go to our next pair. Eminent versus imminent. Again, very, very similar looking words. Very similar pronunciation. Eminent, imminent. Okay? Eminent with an E refers to a person who is famous or respected. So we're talking about a person when we use eminent. Imminent with an I refers to something that is about to happen. About to happen. Let's take a look at those examples. She is one of the world's most eminent professors. So that means she is very famous, she is very respected, she is eminent. Can you think of some other eminent people? If you can, write it in the comments. That's your homework for today. Let's look at the next example. He was in imminent danger of being swept away. So in this case, something is about to happen. He was in imminent danger of being swept away. So if you imagine sitting on the beach when there's a typhoon coming through, you might get swept away by the waves. You are in imminent danger. The danger is coming. Are those two understandable? Let me know. These two words are easily confused. They are homophones. That means they have the same pronunciation. Discrete versus discrete. Oh my gosh, why does English do that, right? So the first one, discreet with two E's before the T, discreet, means careful and tactful in order to keep something confidential. We use this word a lot when we try to avoid embarrassment, when we try to keep something a little bit secret, not out in the open. We use the word discreet. Okay? The second discrete is ETE. This means distinct or unconnected, so not connected. So these two words have very different meanings. Take a look at the examples again. She hung up her laundry in a discreet corner of the yard. So she hung up her laundry in a place where maybe not many people go, not many people are looking. So she hung up her laundry in a kind of secretive, not obvious place in the yard. The second example, the companies have their own discrete identities. Perhaps these companies are owned by one big company, but actually the companies have their own individual, separate identities, discrete identities. So independent of each other, they're not connected. On to the next. Enormity versus enormous. Now, I sometimes hear people use enormity to mean enormous, but that is not correct. Enormity means something serious or morally wrong. So we use enormity to describe something that is gravely serious, very, very serious, and perhaps something not good, something not right. Enormous is very simple. It just means very, very large. Okay? Let's look at our examples. A thorough search revealed the enormity of the crime. So that means the seriousness, the wrongness, the evilness of the crime. Something very serious and bad. Our second example, the buildings in New York are enormous. That just means the buildings are very, very big in New York. The next one. I hear native English speakers sometimes confusing these words as well. We have appraise and apprise. Appraise, apprise. These are two different meaning words. Appraise means to assess the value of something, the value or the quality of something. Apprise means to notify or inform someone, to let someone know some information. We had the house appraised before we bought it. So that means we had someone, an expert, check the value and the quality of the house before we bought it. The second example, I was apprised of the incident. That means someone informed me of the incident. Someone told me what happened. Pretty easy, right? Next, we have two very similar words again. You can see how easy it is to confuse these words. Continual versus continuous. You might be thinking, don't they mean the same thing? No, there is a nuance that is different for each word. Continual means happening frequently with breaks in between. Continuous means happening without interruption. Okay? So continual means frequently, but sometimes there are breaks in between. Continuous means it is happening. There are no breaks. It just keeps happening. Okay, let's look at the examples and see if we can understand them a little bit better. The plane went down after continual attacks. So if you think maybe this plane was in war or something, and the plane is getting attacked frequently, but we know the plane is not being attacked non-stop. Maybe it's being shot at, then another plane comes and shoots at it, and then another plane comes and shoots at it, and then finally that plane goes down. The plane went down after continual, frequent attacks. The second example, he is in continuous pain. Continuous, this means like unending, no breaks. In our example, this poor man, whoever he is in continuous, constant pain. He doesn't get a break. All right, let's check the next pair. Here we have credible versus creditable. Again, very similar. Credible means able to be believed. Creditable means deserving credit or praise. Examples. Few people found his story credible. So that means few people believed his story. If someone is credible, it means we believe them. If someone is not credible, it means they can't be trusted. So credible means being able to be believed. Second example, our team came in a creditable third place. So that means they did a good job. They came in third place. It's not something super great or super amazing, but they did a good job. It's creditable. They deserve some praise. Good job, good job. The next pair, hone versus home. I included these because I thought they are super, super tricky. Only one letter difference, hone and home. Home is not the home that you're thinking probably. Let's take a look. Hone with an N means to sharpen or improve something. Home, on the other hand, means to move towards a target or a goal or a destination. Examples. He worked hard to hone his skills. So in English, you might often hear people talking about honing their skills. That means improving their skills, making their skills better. On the other hand, home, the missile homed in on its target. That means it's aiming towards its target. It's going towards it. It's moving towards its target or destination. Home in on something. Okay? Our last pair for today. Trickiest ones, I think. We have flammable versus inflammable. Have you heard these words before? So actually, flammable and inflammable both mean easily combustible. That means they can set on fire very easily. Flammable is preferred because Inflammable can sometimes be mistaken for not flammable, but that is incorrect. Inflammable is the same meaning as flammable. I'm not sure why we have two words that look like they would be opposites, but they mean the same thing. But just so you know, and it's very important if you're doing something with safety or something like that, reading a safety guide, flammable and inflammable both mean they can set on fire easily. Okay? So if we look at the examples, the gasoline was highly flammable. It is made of an inflammable material. Both sentences mean gasoline and the material can set on fire very easily. They're easily combustible. Okay, what did you think about these 10 word pairs? Pretty tricky, right? I hope that my explanation helped a little bit, but please go over to my website and download the PDF. The PDF also includes a quiz with answers, so you can kind of test how well you understand these words now. And don't worry if you're still a little bit confused. The PDF has everything written out. It has more examples and some more information about each word pair. Okay, thank you very much for watching today's lesson. I look forward to the next one. Please hit that subscribe button and I'll see you in our next lesson. Bye everyone.